Hi, this is Naslan Guderzi. Today we want to talk about Atheist Day. Stay with us. Hi Milad. Hi Hamid.
Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to your program.
Thank you.
Today is Atheist Day and 23rd of March. So we want to discuss Atheist Day. Do you want to talk about this day?
Sure. Atheist Day, March the 23rd is important, I guess. And it is important that we atheists, free thinkers and ex-Muslims have a specific day so that we can gather together, talk about atheism and highlight the important discourses that is related to the atheism, ex-Muslim and free thinkers movement all around the world. If I want to start actually, the first point I would like to point out is religion should be seen as a side effect, as a harmful sort of ideology for every society, not only for like the Middle East, which we know that we have some sort of government that they use Sharia law to control and put oppression on the people. I'm talking about every countries, Western countries, European, North Americans, Australia, New Zealand. Religion is bad everywhere actually. So that's one of the most important factor and the point that we need to talk about the atheism and we need to celebrate the Atheist Day.
You're right. For example, religion is not a personal and private matter. Because there are regulations in society that imposed by religion, and these religion imposed brutality and some punishment in society. So it's not a personal matter between believers and their gods.
That's a fair point. I think people should be free to believe in whatever they want in their private life. However, we have to realize that the political side of religion is more important than the personal side. Of course, personally, I believe religion is bad even for individuals. Even if you practice religion rules in your private life, you actually are acting the self-harassment, self-harming yourself, basically. But in this program, we're trying to focus more on the politic side of religion. It's more important. Religious people in general, they actually are like improving and empowering specific political movements which are based on religious rules. Islamism, for example, if you wear hijab in like Western societies where there is no obligation for and there's no force by law to wear hijab or like being veiled, you actually are empowering the Islamism and the Islamic governments which we know they are in power in Middle East. Islamic Republic of Iran, the Saudi government, Erdogan in Turkey, ISIS, Taliban, Ikhwan al-Muslim in Egypt. There are like so many examples, I would say. If you practice Islamic rules in Europe, you're actually empowering these sort of governments and these sort of movements, as I mentioned.
Well, I think the governments, most governments all over the world, are putting emphasis on religion. They never want to put aside their religious education. I mean, it's not only about Islam. It's about every religion. It's a tool in the government's hands for oppression, to keep people under control, to teach people that they must obey the authorities. So it doesn't matter if you're in America. Okay, the Christianity is very powerful there, and the government uses the Christian rules, the Christian morals, basically to oppress people, to fool people, and it's not about only Islam. I mean, in West they are still refusing to ban religious symbols from schools. They force children
religious symbols. The advertise they gave, like, sorry for interrupt. They give like a specific benefits to the religious institutes or like church and stuff. In Sweden, for example, the church does not pay the taxes. The question is why? Why they are like tax-free kind of organizations? Who gave these rights to them? In Britain, we still have single-gender schools. Boys and girls are separated, and they're like they still studying the religious rules and this sort of thing. Look, the question is why? It's 2019. Based on like the whole education system, as we like point out before, is supposed to like give people that sort of ability to analyze things, to think free, to be like out of the closet and like be able to analyze the world and interpret the world. When you like teach the religion in the school for like a small kids, for the teenagers, what do you expect? What were you expecting? What would be the outcomes? So yeah, religious is in power, politically in power, even in Western countries.
Yeah, they are preaching. They are teaching people to accept what they are told. Exactly the same thing that Milad said. They don't like the power of questioning in people's minds. So it's crazy. I mean, there are thousands of examples. I just read something yesterday, I guess, that a governor probably in a state in United States, he forces schools, public schools, to put the sign that in God we trust. It should be mandatory in all public schools in a state, in one of the states of America. I mean, it's crazy.
You're right. The role of religion is to govern people, is to obey the authority, and religion has political functions because these governments try to hide their corruptions and gain financial profits from hiding the truth, and by advertising religion, and they want to keep it live and spread it in the world. By advertising these religion, they try to hide their corrupt capitalist systems, and it's a tool for governments to govern people and keep people under control.
That's true.
This is the main rule of religion.
One of the points, actually, one of the issues that we must discuss today, it's the right of blasphemy and the right for everyone to talk apostasy and criticize religion in the way that they like. We all know, like, soon that you start like criticizing religion, specifically we're talking about Islam, they always say like you insulting the holy Muhammad, the holy Quran, so you have to remain silent. On other sides, more radicalistic version of Islamism, we know that there are like some groups like ISIS who attacked the people who actually criticized Islam. We remember what happened in Paris against Charlie Hebdo, and some other examples I can like mention, Salman Rushdie, and more recently we have this like journalist Raif Badawi, the Saudi blogger who is in prison and was flogged 50 times because he was like criticizing Islam in Saudi Arabia. The irony part is the European government, the British Prime Minister, for example, the Conservative Party in UK, they have the best relationship with the Saudi government. They work side by side. As long as these Islamic government are in power, as you mentioned before, Nastaran, they can have like the best financial relationship with each other. So that's how Islamism, that's how religion works in the like a modern society. It should be the right. This right must be recognized by everyone, authorities included. People should be free to express themselves in the way that they like. People should be free to insult religion. People should be free to talk apostasy. Blasphemy is one basic human rights, and that's one of the most important factors and the issues we have to discuss on the Atheist Day.
Yeah, you're right. Criticism, I believe that criticism of religion is a key for defense of rights and humanity and equality in the world. So it's important today and every day in the year we have to right. We have a right to blasphemy and talk about, criticize the religion. So it's really important this day.
Yeah, but you mentioned the blasphemy, and I realize, I see in social media especially that we have double standards when it comes to blasphemy. When we criticize Islam, or we make fun of Islam, or mock Islam, or Quran, Muhammad, everything, there is double standards in social media, especially in Facebook, in YouTube. They don't tolerate the Islamic blasphemy, but you can make fun of Jesus easily. You can burn a Bible. It's very easy to do that. But when it comes to Islam, they have
they're very protective.
Exactly.
They have like an overprotectionism kind of act. As you said, like we had like this movement, like a hashtag Ayatollah Facebook, because like Facebook was banning any sort of criticizing against Islamism. It's true with Instagram, somehow with Twitter. I mean, they still do not let people, ex-Muslims, like atheists coming from Islamic-stricken countries, to criticize Islam in social media websites. And that's an irony. I mean, what happened to the freedom of speech? What happened to the right of people to talk and express themselves in the way that they like? Nasran point out a very fair point. Religion is a tool on the hand of authorities, which they control the society with the religion. So if you fight for like a society based on humanity and equality, we have to fight against religion. Yeah?
Yeah. And today is Atheist Day, so it's better to talk about people who flee their countries, especially Islam-stricken countries, asylum seekers and other people who flee from these countries and want to live in a free world, and we have to accept their rights, and these European countries, United States and other countries in Western societies should accept their rights to live in a free country and talk about their ideas, and they should be free to speak about themselves and talk about their ideology, and talk that I'm atheist and I have to be free to speak about my opinion.
Unfortunately, ex-Muslims and atheists in Europe, in America, they are not safe. Even in free countries, they are not safe. So you can imagine what happens to them in Islam-stricken countries in Middle East. The atheists in Middle East, they are in danger of any sort of violence every day. We have examples like Sohail
We are the
Arabi.
best example. Like the ex-Muslims living in Europe, they're receiving death threat on daily basis. We are the activists of like a central committee of ex-Muslim here in Scandinavia. We receiving death threat on daily basis. It's obvious that like we, like a secular refugee, secular asylum seeker, they need extra protection by the government.
Yeah. And also in Islam striking countries such as Iran, we have, you mentioned before, Sohail Arabi and other large number of people who are imprisoned and punished by government, by political Islam.
They may even get execution because of criticizing Islam.
Exactly. And today it's better to talk about them and name them, and in social media we have to talk about these people who are threatened by political Islam and Islamist people. So I think today it's the chance for
the Atheist Day. I mean, one thing is that atheists are in hiding, are in closet in many countries. So in Atheist Day, we encourage them to reveal themselves a little bit, at least, but stay safe. They consider their security, but they also can reveal themselves a little bit, so they can realize how big community we are, and we can unite and we can support each other. And also, exactly what you said, we need to support those people who are facing violence because of atheism. They need support. They need especially be supported from Western, from modern world. And famous atheists, I believe that, Milad, you mentioned before that you expect more of people such as Richard Dawkins, and you expect more of them.
Precisely. I mean, that was another issue I would like to point out. We know like many well-known atheists all around the world. They're like very active. I really respect them. I really like them. Richard Dawkins, for example. We have like so many examples, like Higgins, who passed away a couple of years ago. These people, Atheist Day should be a chance to, first of all, highlight what they're doing, and second of all, saying like atheism should be seen as a political movement. We see like we still have these activists saying like we have to go and talk about the religion and like proving to the like a majority of people why religion is bad, why God doesn't exist, and why religion like will actually push you away from a free and happy life. That's fine, no worry about it. I mean, that's perfectly fine. I'm on the side of those people, but the point is we have to realize the first issue that we have is religion has a most powerful feature of the politic thing. We have to fight against the religion in the political matter. We need like a political methodology to fight against religion, not just like go in society and talk to people. Just have a look what happened in New Zealand these days. The like a prime minister, to show solidarity with the victims of those two mosques, she wears hijab. And they pray, like they broadcast in New Zealand the call for the Muslims. We know it as azan. And so many other things, like even like a TV broadcasters, they wear hijab, and we know so many other examples in Europe and North Americans. They treat us politically. So if we want to come across and if we want to like fight against this like hypocrisy, I would say, we have to see the issue politically. Just have a look what's Mina Ahadi, for example, the founder of the Council of Ex-Muslim in Germany, doing. Just have a look what Maryam Namazi is doing these days in UK. That's for sure that these people, Maryam Namazi and Mina Hadi, can have like more effective consequences rather than a person like Richard Dawkins, because Maryam Namazi, Mina Hadi, ex-Muslim activists, they see the issue politically, not just like go and talk to people. One last sentence as a conclusion, I would say, March the 23rd, the International Atheist Day, should be the chance for all the atheists, free thinkers, and ex-Muslims to get united and raise their voice. I would like to use this chance to say, like, ex-Muslims, free thinkers, and atheists of the world, it's about time for us to unite it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your opinion with our audience, and thank you for watching us. Happy Atheist Day.